Well, it might be time for Cleveland to enter the free agency market. Who are some of the top targets that the Browns should take a peek at? We discuss that right now. Anthony Meglin here with you on Cleveland Browns on SI. And it's no secret that something is not right with the Cleveland Browns. Outputs of 18 points, 21 points, and 15 points just is not going to get the job done consistently from an offensive perspective week in, week out in the NFL. And what's the issue? Well, there's certainly a lot of issues. Your quarterback play has been pretty bad. You're not being able to run the football. You can't block anything up front. And your receivers have been a disappointment to this point. So there's a lot of ways you can go with this when trying to solve this iteration of the Cleveland Browns. But the quick fix, I think you got to look at offensive tackle. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be working for Jedrick Wills over at left tackle. This is a fifth-year player who we picked up his option. And this was a guy who was under the heat this year. This was his chance to earn a contract and really become a cornerstone of this NFL franchise, or he's going to hit the road and become a free agent and have to work his way out somewhere else other than Cleveland. And it's certainly looking to be that direction as he was disappointing again on Sunday in his first game back. And on the flip side, Dawand Jones came into this year with a ton of promise. He had an incredible rookie season in 2023. He comes back in 2024 and is not off to the best start. It looks like reports are saying that he's gained a little bit of weight, and it's certainly looking that way. He hasn't moving as well as he did in the past, and it proved out on Sunday. He was benched in favor of James Hudson. Ended up coming back into the game after James Hudson got rolled up on and was injured. But Dawand Jones was a guy that you kind of had penciled in and even sharpied in as your starter over at right tackle. And it's not turning out to be everything that you wish for. So where do you go from here? Well, I think there's two names that are on the list, would be on my list, my wish list if I was a Cleveland Browns and if I was in the front office. The first one, two-time NFL champion, Donovan Smith. Now, Donovan Smith was a Kansas City Chief protecting for Patrick Mahomes for the last 9 years, and they let him walk this past offseason. So he's played 9 years in the league. He's still only 31 years old, still got a lot left in the tank, and has done it at a really high level for a guy that I'm not going to say is similar in performance to Deshaun Watson, but potentially similar in play style, where Deshaun likes to move around just as Patrick Mahomes does. Not a statue quarterback. It's a guy that likes to move around. So some experience in that front. Could be a nice fit for the Browns to shore up that offensive line. The other name I'd take a peek at, I'd certainly call, is David Bakhtiari. The 10-year veteran from the Green Bay Packers was Aaron Rodgers. He was his blindside patrol for the last 10 seasons. And obviously, if you look at anything, if you're on Twitter or you're on X, you watch shows like the Pat McAfee Show, Rodgers speaks so highly of David Bakhtiari for good reason. This is a guy who's top of his game. He's a top tier tackle. At least he was in his prime. He's coming off a couple injury-ridden seasons. They let him walk at the start of this season, and could be an opportunity, could be a guy that helps try to solve the Cleveland Browns' offensive problems, or at least is a Band-Aid for the offensive line. A lot more problems for the Browns, but a good opportunity on Sunday to right everything. If you go out to Las Vegas, you get a win on Sunday. You come back home 2-2 with the whole season right in front of you. On the flip side, you come back home 1-3. Tell you what, I don't want to be in that stadium if that's the case. But for all the more content, everything Cleveland Browns, all the news, highlights, analysis, we got you covered here on Cleveland Browns on SI. Also got you covered over on our written site, si.com/NFL/Browns, for all things Cleveland Browns, from coaches interviews, player interviews, pregame shows, postgame shows, film analysis, quick hitters just as this one. We bring it to you here both on our SI site and on YouTube. But for Anthony Meglin, I appreciate you hanging out with us on Cleveland Browns on SI.